From the shores of Lake Erie,
to Browns fans worldwide,
hope is alive and the future's bright.
I'm John. This is There's a Gleam.
And I'm Steve. Let's get the gleam together.
There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam. All right, let's go.
And good afternoon, and welcome to the There's a Gleam show. We're a part of the Fanatical Elves Network, which is a part of the Fans First Sports Network, and I am Steve Hemrich, and he is John Ryder. John, how you doing today on this Wednesday afternoon?
Steve, I feel like a kid that got pushed down and his lunch money got stolen from him.
That's a departure from last week where you felt like you were twins.
That's right. I was so happy. Now I feel the complete opposite.
Right? We touched about this in the past. When they lose, the week just sucks. Everything sucks. And the boot, I'm all banged up today. I'm sick. But like my buddies over at the Dog Chug, Andy and Ed, I'm trying to I figured the show must go on. So I am here. I think I got a cold. So
you're no Peyton Hillis. You're gonna suit up and get out there.
That is true. So but yeah, coming off a loss, it sucks. I mean, it wasn't fully unexpected, but it's just how we lost. I hate sometimes how we lose, and we'll touch about more of that later and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's a good little meme for you here for those who've ever seen The Water Boy. And
no, we suck again.
That's what I've heard a lot of Browns fans saying here on social media the last since about 4:00 on Sunday. So there you go.
Yeah. As of 4:00 Sunday, the season was pretty much officially over. I think it's over. They had a chance. I was confident in the morning that I thought we were going to win. I'm a little delusional sometimes, but I really, the road that the Steelers have was tough. The road the Bengals have is tough. The Ravens are banged up. I really thought we could get right back in this race, but now I think it's time to look forward to next year and how this team's going to get corrected.
Wow. And they do have some winnable games coming up, but I think the playoffs, you might be right.
Yeah, it's over.
What do we have, 9 games?
Yeah, 9 games left. There are some winnable games in there for sure.
You need what? Minimum 9, but I think maybe even 10 games to make the playoffs, but at least 9 generally.
At least 9.
So you need to pop out 7 out of 9. Yeah. Never say never, I guess. Well,
you're saying there's a chance.
I guess we could get right to it, and we'll do our little game recap here. So,
well, I'll tell you what. It started off great. The defense looked good. Dylan Gabriel just took them right down the field, and I'm thinking this is how it should be. And then it seems once we get away from those scripted plays, we just can't do anything. We can't make the plays. And the one bright side, of course, was Myles Garrett with the 5 sacks.
Yeah,
defense. And I think the score was a little indicative of what happens to a defense when it's been on the field for that much throughout the game. And it happens to the Browns a lot where the game gets out of control at the end.
Well, let me ask you this, John, because I mean, we start the game. Not much punt. I think they went up and got a field goal, after driving right down, or they started with the ball, went right down the field pretty much, but we held them to a field goal.
Right.
And we come and get that touch on, and I'm feeling pretty good. We're up 7-3. The offense looked pretty decent. Like you said, the scripted plays seemed to work. And then, they kick a field goal. I forget what the punt, this, that. But I think one of the big, for whatever reason, I don't want to say turning point, but kind of a turning point was missing that field goal. 47, 48-yard field goal that Schmidt missed.
Right when that happened, Steve, I was like, that's not good. Whenever that happens, things go bad.
Oh, right. I think that was a big deflator. I mean,
it was.
That moment, that's when everything just kind of changed. And then, like I said, it was, excuse me, the game was, it was 9-7 at the half. It wasn't a blowout. And even a good way through that third quarter, at worst, it was 16-7. I mean, that was a very winnable game. We couldn't run the ball to save our lives, which New England had that ridiculous stat of something like they haven't had a running back with more than 50 yards against them in a game or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that was, the fact that we couldn't run better, and then just you'll talk about Gabriel. Just, well, I don't know.
Yeah, Gabriel, I think, it's so hard, Steve, to figure this out because Gabriel doesn't look good for one, but the receivers don't look good either. The line doesn't look good. The play calling doesn't look good. So who's really to blame? It's like a whole mishmash of like issues.
Well, and I know they've talked about, where's Jerry Jeudy? He's our number one. It seems like that guy he can't get open or can't get anything, to him. And I mean,
2 targets last week.
Yeah. And is it the scheme? Is it the play calling? Is it him? I mean, last I knew he had good speed, above average speed. Wait, he can't get open against anybody? I just find it hard to be quarterback.
Well, maybe, if you take Jerry Jeudy away from this offense and let the other receivers, try and make some hay for your defense, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Take Jeudy away, make everybody else make a play.
Yeah, well, the only one really doing that is Fannin. So, but yeah, it's just mind-boggling how he is so not a part of this offense. I find it hard to believe it's him. I mean, he's had some drops, don't get me wrong, but I mean, you just look at the targets. What'd you say? 2 targets last game?
2 targets.
No catches?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Unacceptable. Number 1 receiver on my team, and he's got 2 targets.
Steve, I don't know if I don't know. I'm lost. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if he was open, if he wasn't open, if Gabriel didn't see him. I don't know. I'm at a loss.
I don't know.
I've seen some videos online with them breaking down some of Dylan Gabriel's plays, and he's just not seeing people.
No. Well, he had that one. Was it Bond that was wide open down the sideline, left sideline there? That should have been a touchdown. Yeah. And he kind of threw like this arching ball, and I think it's because he couldn't see. He's got to like loft it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it
was well short.
Open. Yeah, wide open, under threw that ball. That should have been an easy touchdown for us. I'm not sold from everything.
Well, I'm not sold on Bond either. The guy looks like he doesn't know what he's doing out there.
Some people,
and that's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, well, they do say wide receivers one of the toughest transitions to the NFL. It seems like that's for the Browns anyway. I see other receivers making pretty nice transitions. Well, Fannon's made a nice one, but no, he looked good for a couple games. He's kind of disappeared again. I don't know what to make of it, but right. I saw it, and I wish I would have pulled him up. I've seen some overall numbers on Gabriel after 4 games, and all of them are at the bottom of the quarterback rankings from yards to this to completion percentage. I mean, he's like 28th ranked or 32nd. He's at the bottom of all of them. So,
and I get it, and people are kind of just ticked off with Gabriel. He can't play, but then they want Shador. But you had Joe Flacco in the system too, and he didn't exactly light it up. No. And he went to Cincinnati, and he's put up points the last 2 weeks. So,
I don't know. Is it talent? I mean, a few years ago, we went through the 5 quarterbacks or 5 or 6 quarterbacks. I mean, Stefanski, we were winning some games. They weren't all pretty, but and now it seems like all of a sudden, I don't know if it's the talent level on this team, but they're nowhere near what he was doing, our playoff season when Flacco saved us and made the playoffs and stuff. They've all been bad. And Gabriel just, from what I heard, that was Stefanski's guy. For whatever reason, they love this kid. It was his type of quarterback. I think that's the one he wanted. I don't know if it's Barry's fault for listening to his coach, and going with that instead of trusting him. He is the GM. I don't know what story you want to hear, but that's the latest I've heard that was kind of Stefanski's guy, and he went with that. But I know it's 4 games. I know it's not fair, but I'm done. I'm done with the DG experiment.
Yeah, I'm done too. What did you think about the defense during the game?
I thought was, again, pretty good. Although Travion Henderson's been dead quiet this whole season. All of a sudden, the kid woke up and he's ripping off like 10 plus yards. I'm like, holy crap, what happened? But I mean, the defense, I had a stat here somewhere. I'll bring it up later about their tackling and stuff. Because remember years past with the Browns, we were terrible at tackling. And we're now at least through 7 weeks before the start of week 8, which I don't think they really did anything to hurt themselves too much. We were like the 6th ranked as far as best tackling team. So defense looks good. We'll talk about there's some injuries, kind of a little bit of blow but I don't think they're major injuries, so that's good. But again, the defense has been pretty good for the most part. They keep us in games, and then I think inevitably in some of these games, after the offense looks as putrid as it does sometimes, I think they're just like, I don't want to say they give up. It almost seems like we're not going to win, and they kind of lose their thing. So I don't know. What do you think?
Sorry about that, Steve.
Right.
Yeah, I like what the defense is doing, and I do think that they get kind of worn out, and that's when things start to fall apart later in the games.
Yeah.
And but I like Schlesinger. It's too bad that he's hurt with that high ankle sprain. Hopefully, it's not too severe.
Yeah.
But he's a real bright spot on this team, I think.
Oh, for sure.
If you want to talk about a gleam, Carson Schlesinger, he is all over the field.
I think he was leading all rookies with tackles and stuff, and very much in the mix for defensive rookie of the year. We'll see how much time he. I mean, one good thing, I guess, this bye week's coming at the perfect time. Gives them 2 weeks to recover. We'll talk about it a little bit later here. Campbell as well.
Let me ask you this, Steve. Who was the last linebacker that you've seen that looks like a Carson Schlesinger for the Browns that makes plays, that's kind of all over the place, makes an interception? I mean, who's the last guy that we've seen that's playing like this kid?
I mean, JOK was playing really good before he got hurt.
Right.
He seemed like he was always making tackles and stuff. Prior to that, oh gosh,
DeQuell Jackson.
The knock with DeQuell was steady player, solid player, but it seemed like he never made impact plays. He made tackles,
right,
but it wasn't like for losses or it was always a couple yards up the field. But he was solid. Oh God, you threw me for a monkey wrench here.
I know.
I'm sick. My brain's all foggy.
Well, let's just say that I think Carson Schlesinger is well on his way to becoming not only just a fan favorite, but one of the better Cleveland Browns linebackers that we've seen in a long time.
Oh, he's already gotten comparisons early on through training camp, and then even to start the season. There's people already labeling him another Clay Matthews Jr. If he's anywhere near what Clay Matthews was, home run. I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of look, is he from California?
I think he
played at UCLA, but I don't know if he's from California.
He looks like he's from California.
I'm going to say California.
Let's just say he's from California with looks like the surfer hair and everything.
He's kind of a younger version of a Matthews. Are they distant relatives at all? But no, he definitely has been a bright spot. The defense, Miles, can't say enough. Enough about him. 5 sacks, set the new single season franchise record for sacks in a game. He had the previous one, I think it was 4.5. So, and some people are like, oh, nice for Miles to show up at, when the games don't count. 3 of those sacks were when the game was like still 9-7 or 16. It was close. So
it was,
give Miles credit. He's had a few games where he really hasn't done anything, but this game he came to play. Man had 5 sacks and he was just an absolute beast. Did you hear, who was it? Will Campbell. If I would have known how to have pulled up the audio, I would have, but I pulled out the thing here. He's the Patriots rookie left tackle, who looks like a solid player himself.
Yeah.
But his quote from Will Campbell about Myles Garrett, he's a really good player. He beat me a few times, and that's part of the game. He gets paid a lot of money. He got a couple times. He got me a couple times, and I just had to keep coming back and keep fighting. Just glad we got the win. So I thought it was kind of,
No, the win. That's what matters, winning in the end.
Well, that's true. But I don't know. I guess what are you going to say? That guy, I saw a video, a sideline clip of one of the Patriots defensive tackles. Don't remember the guy's name, but he kept talking about Miles. Miles got another sack. Man, he's like just going on about Miles dominating. It was one of the Patriots starting defensive linemen. So
he totally dominated that game, and he was pissed when I guess they weren't going to put him back in at the end.
Yeah, I get it. I can appreciate that side of it, but also game's out of reach. You're my star player. It's meaningless at this point. I don't want to see you get hurt.
Yeah,
I mean that photo right there, is that man just not chiseled? He's like a man, those arms.
He's a beast. He's an absolute beast.
He's been everything you could have hoped for a number 1 pick.
Almost everything, Steve.
That's true. That's true.
I would like a little more leadership out of him would be nice, but
well, that's true.
okay.
I guess you could say a little bit more productivity, but at the end, he's there to get sacks, and he's doing that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been worse. Remember back in that 17 draft, there was talk about Mitch Trubisky going one.
Now he's doing commercials for backup. What's he doing? Make the replacement backup.
I did see that. Is that a Progressive?
Yeah, it's Progressive.
I did see that. So,
hey, not a bad gig if you can get it.
Well, again, so last week our predictions, we had John, you had the Browns winning 24-14.
Yeah.
And I had them going 20-13, both predicting a Browns win. We were both wrong.
Yes.
So I think we got a little caught up with the win the week before, drinking the Kool-Aid, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, we were all giddy.
And that being said, I do have the updated standings here in the NFL. So without further ado, we have well,
we know that AFC North, right, is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I thought they were going to win on Sunday. I turned the game off later, second half, and they ended up losing to the Packers. So I was happy about that. But yeah, Pittsburgh's 4-3, Cincy's 3-5, Baltimore's 2-5, and we're 2-6.
Yep.
The mighty AFC North is not what it used to be.
That's just frustrating. Again, we talk about this schedule, or what teams are doing, especially just in our own division, and man, it's ripe for the taking, in my opinion.
It really is. It's amazing too as you look at the AFC East with New England at 6-2.
Yep.
I think they can make some hay in the AFC this year. Look out Buffalo, because New England's for real.
They still play again. You got in the East, you got New England 6-2, Buffalo 5-2, then Miami 2-6. Jets got. How about that Jets game? Did you watch that?
I saw some of that.
That was insane that the Jets came back to win that game, especially after the week before with the benching of Justin Fields, and then he started this week. So they're 1-7, like you said. You talked about our division. I mean, 4-3. If we would have won those two games that we thought we should have won with Cincy and the Minnesota, you're 4-4. You're a half a game behind Pittsburgh for first place for that division. That's
that hurt.
Weekend they do it again. Indianapolis 7-1. I mean, that's for me again surprise team of the for sure AFC, maybe all of football right now.
Daniel Jones is a huge surprise too,
right? I mean, it could be worse. We talk about our quarterbacks, and we let Flacco and Pickett both go, and went with the rookies. But I mean, Minnesota last year at one point on their roster, they had Sam Darnold and they picked up Daniel Jones after he got cut by the Giants and let them both go to stick with McCarthy, who I get it, number 1 pick, first round, top 10 pick.
Yeah.
He's hurt. You got to go at your future, but man, and both of those really Darnold. There's been a resurgence for some of these quarterbacks in that time period from 17, 18 through that 4 or 5 year period where guys didn't really work out with their teams. Look at what Darnold's doing now with Seattle and what he did with Minnesota, and Jones with the Colts, and of course Baker at Tampa. It's crazy. So,
kind of reinvented themselves.
AFC West, that's a pretty strong division. I mean, I thought Denver would be a playoff team, but they're 6-2. Chargers 5-3. Kansas City's, they start off 0-2. They're now 5-3, and then the Raiders, who we'll be playing in a few weeks here, they're 2-5. Is there anybody in the AFC right now you like for possible Super Bowl, or too early?
No, I tell you what. I don't know if Indianapolis can keep this up, but they've got all the pieces. They've got a running game. They got a quarterback that's playing really well.
They do look tough.
There's a couple, Denver, all the top guys. Of course, I don't think I think Pittsburgh, if they win the division, they're one and done.
Yep.
I think Baltimore, there's a good chance if Lamar Jackson gets healthy, Baltimore could end up taking the AFC North.
They have their schedule is pretty favorable from what I saw before, so they very well could. I still kind of like Buffalo. They've been knocking on the door for the last few years, and with the injuries to Cincy, with Burrow, That knocks them out. There's a couple surprise teams here. Kansas City, I guess they look pretty good. That offense is really popping again now that Rice is back. But I still kind of like Buffalo. I'm going to go with the proven team here. They've got, the defense, the run game, with having Josh Allen. I like them a lot. The NFC, for what it's worth, you got Philly leading the East at 6-2. Dallas was battling for a while, but they've kind of fallen by the wayside. They're 3-4-1. Washington, big surprise there. A lot of people thought Washington was going to be a lot better this year. Playoff, they're 3-5, and then the Giants 2-6. NFC North, that could be the most competitive division right now in football. You got Green Bay 5-1-1, Detroit 5-2, the Bears 4-3, and Minnesota, again, another team people thought playoffs 3-4. And we got to talk about it. The NFC South, Tampa Bay. Who's their quarterback again?
Oh yeah, shake and bake.
Shake and bake, baby. 6-2. Carolina, another little bit of a surprise for me. They're 4-4. I thought that I didn't think they'd win 4 games all year. Atlanta 3-4, and the Saints 1-7. And Seattle, with our boy, my favorite fantasy player on my team, Jackson Smith-Njigba, 5-2. Tied with the Rams, and then San Fran 5-3. Somehow the Rams, with all those injuries, are still right there.
Who do you like coming out? Who do you like coming out of the NFC? Anybody tickling your fancy?
You know what?
Tampa Bay.
Nah, I don't know if their defense is decent, but it's not it's not the Tampa Bay defense of old. I mean, I guess you got to respect Philly. They've been right there, but I kind of like Green Bay. But once they added Micah Parsons, they've got a good defense. They've got everything you'd want on offense. They've got the weapons. They've got a good young quarterback. Jacobs is one of the best top 10 backs. I kind of like Green Bay so far. How about you?
I like Detroit. I still like Detroit. I'm a big Dan Campbell fan. I think they're what, a half game behind Green Bay.
Yeah, they're yep, half a game.
So I'm sticking with Detroit.
Yeah,
hey, Detroit! I'd be happy with the Detroit Buffalo Super Bowl.
That'd be pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
No, well, there's that, and then you were talking about it a little bit. So we do have, besides the loss, the negative parts of this game were the injuries, but we had three big injuries, I guess, alarming at the time. But I think we may have lucked out here a little bit. You were talking about Carson Schlesinger. The latest report I heard on him was MRI confirmed was a high ankle sprain, but it didn't appear to be a severe one. He's not going on the IR. He's week to week. So I know most high ankle sprains are about what, a 4 to 6 week type deal, John?
Yeah.
They're saying this one might not be bad. So this bye week, having the next 2 weeks off, he may not miss a game or maybe just one. So that's a little bit encouraging. That wasn't more serious. And it all happened. The Browns seem to do this one of the most. It was, again, one of his own players, teammates rolled up on him.
Yeah.
And that's how it got, so another one, a little bit of a scare was running back Quinshawn Junkins. It was an AC shoulder to joint sprain. Doesn't appear to be too bad. They said day to day. So that was a little bit of a relief there. And then the other big one was the new cornerback, Tyson Campbell. It was a concussion. Surprise. Tell me if you've heard this before. Browns cornerback with a concussion. But day to day. So again, nothing season ending. So hopefully these guys will be back here soon. Bye week's coming at a pretty good time. But
the Browns have been very healthy this year. They haven't had a lot of guys hurt.
No, for the most part, they've been pretty good. But I got to ask you, that as far as the game and the recap goes, they made some interesting roster moves this week. And I'm sure you caught it too. But
yeah,
what do you make, John, of the Browns? They signed a tight end off waivers, Brendan Bates from the Texans. And then they signed another one to the practice squad, Caden Priestcorn, I think's his name. I know he's a former all-SEC tight end. But they went and signed 2 tight ends to this team when we already have a bunch of tight ends. What do you think that means for maybe a David Njoku?
Yeah, Njoku's. I would if I were the Browns, I would trade him. I think you get some draft value for him. I don't know. What do you think you can get for an Njoku?
I don't know. To be honest, he hasn't really looked the same this year either. Even the start of the season, all off season in preseason, I saw the little clips of him and Joe Flacco, best buds, but they never really connected. He just doesn't look the same. I don't know.
I feel like he's not like running free like he was before. Like when
Yeah.
Flacco was here in 23, it seemed like the little misdirection. All of a sudden, you see Njoku just running wide open, gets hit with a pass across the middle, and just takes those big long strides, and then hurdles somebody, and then like crashes into someone and picks up 15 yards. And not really seeing that this year.
No, and yeah, that's. I don't think much.
So what do you a fourth rounder, third rounder, fourth rounder?
Fourth at best, probably a fifth or a sixth. I don't know.
I'd still do it. It.
Is this the last year of his contract too?
Yeah,
no?
It's the last year of his deal. I think Teller's on the last year also.
Okay.
And then we have Batonio.
Yeah, I think yeah. I mean, Njoku, I don't know. Fannon's been so good. He's obviously the tight end of the future. So, David, you're for the most part a pretty good player for us. If they trade him, so be it.
Good player, but his tipping is a little suspect.
Yeah. He did come around. Remember years back he wanted traded. He wasn't happy.
Yeah, he did come around really good. He bounced back after that.
He wasn't really. I don't think he was much for the blocking side of things. He wanted to be the tight end, receiving tight end. But he bought into it, and I mean he's been a good tight end. I think he's ranked now in the top 10 of receiving. I think for the Browns now. So
I think on a better team, Njoku is a star. I think if he's like on a San Francisco or the way that Kansas City uses Kelsey, he's just not getting the looks, the targets, but I think he's still, to me, fantastic player, and the size, he's got good hands.
Yeah,
but I think it might be coming to an end. His time might be coming to an end here.
And what ladies aren't going to miss, I don't care, rain, shine, snow, 0 degree, 100 degree, him warming up before games with the shirt off, no shirt on. I mean, what if another guy who's chiseled like a Greek guy? Yeah, he is. So, we'll see. But I mean, for me, that was a big one. I saw that. I'm like, okay, 1, and then 2, nobody's hurt as far as I'm aware of. I'm like, to me, that signals they might be making some moves specifically at that tight end spot. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But another little thing I want to talk about is, historically with the bye weeks and stuff, Andrew Berry's usually done a little press conference, and this year he opted not to do it.
What do you think about that?
I'm going to ask you first. What do you think?
You know what? To me, it doesn't matter because Andrew Berry never offers up anything of any relevance. He just talks in circles and he spins it like a DJ. Right. And it doesn't matter. I personally, if I never hear from Andrew Berry again, it'll be too soon.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, give him credit. So far, it looks like a really good draft class, but really that's all he's got to hang his hat on.
I can't give a guy credit for like 5 picks and
no. And I know he didn't have a first-round pick for 3 years, and people say, oh, well, you bombed on the Jed Wills, and some will say, well, Bill Callahan, that was his guy. Again, he went with his assistant. So that's what I mean. I get it.
Yeah, but you're still the general manager of the team. The buck stops with you. You make the signings.
I agree. I get wanting to appease your coaches, make them happy, rely on them. But, if that's not it's your job at the end of the day. So, yeah, him not, like you said, he don't really say anything. What's he going to come out and say? He's not going to really say anything. I don't know if he wants a deal. I'm sure they're going to get bombarded with the Shadur questions, and I don't know if that's his way of just supporting Stefanski. I don't know. On that note, what do you think about
one last thing to touch on that real quick?
Yeah,
the Indianapolis Colts had a press conference with their owner, Carly Ursay Gordon.
Yep,
and and she was talking so candidly, so just like you were sitting in a room with her. And she was talking about how she listens to the play calling, what's going on during the game between the coaches. And she said it's really opened her eyes to what's going on, and she's learned a lot. And it was just so kind of refreshing to hear like an owner say, I'm learning this stuff as I go about, how to run the team.
Have you seen her during the games? She's on
No, I haven't.
She's on the sidelines at the games with a headset on, and she's got a note. She's taking notes.
Yeah,
I've shown her a few times.
Dude, can she come and own the Browns? I mean, why don't we have more of that in Cleveland? The Guardians, anytime they make a move, we get really good information on what the Guardians are doing.
Yep.
But with the Browns, it's like, don't ask. We're not telling you guys anything. And if we do answer, it's just going to be, we're looking into it or whatever.
Right.
No real answers. So, anyways, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
For Carly Ursay Gordon to be like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. What do you think? I know we kind of talked about, but what do you think about, Stefanski and the job he's done and the whole QB situation and whatnot?
Well, that's the elephant in the room.
Right.
Well, what's going to happen? Steve, I don't think Kevin Stefanski likes Shedeur Sanders. And I don't know if he's going to if Shedur's going to get a shake with Kevin here. I mean, according to Jimmy Haslam, they're going to play Shedeur.
Well, and I think you had a clip about, or no.
Yeah,
no. Mary Kay asked, I think Mary Kay during her one press conference had asked about, I think possibly a quarterback and stuff and any changes or anything. And I thought we had a clip on that. Yeah, we do. Here's what Kevin had to say when Mary Kay asked him.
Why wouldn't you, just to see if it does anything to the offense, give him an opportunity to go in there and play?
Yeah, obviously my focus is where we are right now, Mary Kay. That's not my focus.
Okay.
What the heck does that mean?
I don't know. It means I don't like Shedeur Sanders. He's not going to play until Haslam tells me he has to play. I don't know.
My head spun when I heard that. I'm like, what the hell did he just say?
He's not even answering it.
No.
Do you have the clip with Haslam? Haslam was there.
Do. Yep, I have that right here. So
Jimmy and D, they were at
Kevin's decision who plays. But organizationally, do you think it's important? Do you talk about we need to see these rookies in game situation before you have 2 first-round picks in 2026?
Absolutely. So, but I mean, Kevin is aware of that. He knows how important quarterback is, and he and Andrew talk about those kind of things all the time. I mean, it's a daily, ongoing conversation.
I know you.
Oh, there you go.
Well, so I guess we'll probably see Shedeur at some point.
I mean, you have to, like you said, it's pretty obvious. I think going into next year's draft, we're probably with that first pick. If there's somebody there, we're probably going quarterback, but you need to see these guys. You took 2 quarterbacks. For me, Gabriel's been so underwhelming. I feel like it was a waste of a pick. A top, 96, 98? It was a top 100 pick. I think it was wasted.
Totally wasted, Steve. Great point. Totally wasted.
Well, that's why I get paid the big bucks.
That's right.
So
we're just riding coattails.
Well, we did it again. We usually take real long on the recap segment, so we're going to kind of shift out of there and let's I was going to say let's lighten it up a little bit and let's do some therapy session here, but we're going to start first with a couple sombering things. First, actually, as fate would have had it, the day of the game when the Browns played the Patriots, it was the 1-year anniversary of Browns great and legend Jimmy Donovan, 1 year of his passing. So, and how I guess I don't want to say fitting, crazy it was. He's a Massachusetts native, from the area, and we were playing him then that week. Too bad he couldn't reach down and help us a little bit like he did in the Ravens game last year, where I think he had a hand in that. But 1 year. Yeah,
I've just got to say about that is that I miss Jimmy Donovan. When I have the game on the radio, I miss Jimmy.
We were blessed. I mean, growing up, I thought Nev Chandler was phenomenal. You know,
He
he's the
was.
one that labeled Brown Stadium Pandemonium Palace. I'm like, oh, we're never going to have a guy. And you get a guy like Jimmy Donovan, who was just the best. He was right there with him. I wanted to get some clips and I couldn't, but oh, by the way, side note, we got our new studio. We're now on with a host StreamYard. So getting used to a few things here. But yeah, Jimmy, he's got some legendary calls. But he's missed. And thoughts out to his daughter Megan and his wife and family and friends. We all miss you, Jimmy, and thinking about you. And it was, like I said, it was his anniversary 1 year. And then this one's again another sad one. And we had just talked about it about 2 weeks ago. We brought up about Buckeye great and Jets great Nick Mangold, and about how he was in need of a kidney transplant. We read the thing about him. It was like 10 days prior of him, reaching out. He passed away last Saturday, October 25th, from complications of kidney disease. Sad news there. I didn't think it was that soon. Obviously, he reached out needing some help, but he leaves behind his wife, Jennifer, and he had 4 kids, Matthew, Thomas, Eloise, I think's her name, and Charlotte. So again, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends and the passing of Nick Mangold.
Yeah, that was sad. I didn't expect to hear that news.
No. I was going to bring up talk about baseball briefly, and specifically the performance of a game with Shohei, but I'm tired of hearing about that guy, so I don't even talk about it. So
he got beat last night, I think.
What was your did you have anything for therapy session, or was yours for there as a Gleam?
Yeah, therapy session. No, I'm good with what you got.
Okay, well, I did have something interesting. We talked about it here briefly, but Myles Garrett, again, this was a big one. Going prior to after this game, he's in some elite company now. He is now, sorry, I'm trying to pull this up. Myles Garrett, prior to the, now with that 5-game sack, he has the most sacks prior to his 30th birthday. Now, this goes since 1982, because back before 82, they really didn't keep record of stuff. I've seen an unofficial list of them, but Myles Garrett is now top dog at 112 and a half sacks. That's amazing.
That's a lot.
He passed the great Reggie White, who at that point had the record at 108. Jared Allen was third at 105. And then give him some credit. Fourth all time before 30th is TJ Watt of Pittsburgh at 101. But, Myles, let me ask you this, John. The all-time sack leader. Now, again, this is the official leaders per Pro Football Reference, and this goes since 1982. Bruce Smith is at the top with 200 sacks all time. Reggie White's second, 198, and Kevin Green's 160. The top 10 finish out with Richard Dent and John Randall tied at 137.5. Myles, to get into the top 10, Myles is 25 sacks away. He's right now 27th all time, and as you noted, 28th right behind him is TJ Watt, who's also tied with Chandler Jones and Justin Houston. What do you think Myles ends up on that list, John?
What he's probably has let's just say conservatively 4 years left.
Okay.
Say 4 years, 10 sacks conservative a year.
Okay.
That puts him at 152.
Yep.
That means he's in 5th place.
It would come
behind
in
Julius Peppers.
Yep.
I think he could reach Kevin Green's 160. I think he can get to 3rd all time. Behind Bruce Smith and Reggie White. I really do. I think he could get 160.
With the way he's built, I mean, as long as he has that strength, because Reggie White was just a tank and just such a strong person.
He's a monster.
He's going to need health to stay on his side, but if he can stay healthy, I agree with you. I think realistically, coming in at the top 3, which would, if he can get to 160 or more, over 160 will put him 3rd all the time. To get where Reggie White at 198, 2nd all time, and Bruce Smith 200, that's going to be tough. You're going to need a long career and you're going to have a long, healthy career. So we'll see. But hats off to Myles Garrett. And excuse me. On another side note here, John, I think especially as being a Browns fan, I think I have finally found the I think I finally found the secret to being happy.
Well, let's box it up and sell it. What's the secret?
My secret, and with this meme, I 100% how to be happy, drink some bourbon.
Well, there you go.
Thanks to Homer Simpson and that wise fortune cookie bit of wisdom there.
Yeah.
I do love me some bourbon. But thanks to you.
Yeah. Well,
you're the one that got me on going. What's the place in Lakewood? Robusto and Briars?
Oh yeah, Robusto and Briar Cigar Lounge.
Yeah. Remember we used to go with the fellas?
Yeah, now you can't take, well, at least as a couple years ago, we stopped going when I guess they had issues with people drinking too much at the cigar lounge and causing problems, and took away the lounge for just guys that just want to hang out, you know.
That was a really cool place. Some great leather couches, leather chairs, flat screen. Just go give it to fellas. Back when you could get it readily available and at a pretty reasonable price. I remember Blanton's was our bourbon of choice, and have a
used to be able to get it for like $50 a bottle.
Right. It's last one I bought. I've got a few bottles. It's $89. I think it cost me to get them. So
it's still not that bad of a price, considering what I've seen it for online. And when I was in Chicago several years ago, it was well over $100.
Well, our boat club had this big, our clam bake. We did a big raffle for our Commodore's Ball thing. And to my surprise, we had a big raffle. One of the members at our club got access to a few select bottles of Blanton's. One of them was a red box, red label Japanese version of Blanton's. That's like some single barrel, very hard to get. It's like $200 and something. I've seen anywhere from $220 to $260 a bottle. And then you got another regular Blanton's, but again, it was a more aged one. And lo and behold, good old Stevie Boy won that one. I got the Japanese version one.
Nice.
So we will be drinking that next year. I'll break that out next year at the boat dock. And
nice.
We are going to.
I didn't know there was such a version.
I didn't either. That was pretty exciting. So, and finally, with our therapy session, the last thing I kind of want to talk about, this is a little bit happier, I guess, is I happened to see it shortly before us going on the show today. But did you know, as of October 29th, that today is the birthday of our own rookie running back, Quinson Junkins? So we want to wish him a happy birthday to Junkins. And
how old is he now? Is he 21 now? Is he old enough to drink?
I knew you were going to ask me, and I was going to look. It doesn't say, and I don't know.
He's got to be like 21, something like that.
Sounds good to me. I'll go with that. So there is your therapy session. But on that note, John, I think it's time for us to take a break if we can. So we're going to take a quick break. All righty. And thanks for coming back to us. Again, we want to thank our sponsors, Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. They're based out of Mechanicsburg, Ohio. They shake the hand of the coffee farmer, as they like to say. So we want to thank them as being one of our sponsors, and always looking for more sponsors. If you have a company, if you're with a company and you'd like to be a sponsor, feel free to contact any of us, myself, John, Johnny Suchan, the Fanatical Elves. We'd love to have more sponsors. So want to thank them and love to have more. So there you go. All right, John. Looking ahead.
What now? What do we got?
We're looking ahead here as we wind down. Now, this week we said it's a bye week this week, so there's really nothing to look ahead about, right? We go into that bye week, as we said, 2-6. So there's nothing to talk about game, but I did get, and I think you got it too. Did you fill yours out?
Yeah, I filled it out.
So last week, Browns, and you may have heard of it, Browns fans, well, I should say Browns, I think select season ticket holders, so I think we're special. I guess they did a survey, and the survey was about they asked you some questions, and then they had some stuff about, they brought up in a specific one, they had 10 scenarios. They gave you 5 choices, and of the 5 choices, they said, if these are the only plans available, which would you choose? And it would give you, where the area the seats were going to be in, how much a ticket would cost. If there is a PSL, what it would potentially cost. And, you had to pick one. And they did give an option. You could, if you didn't want one of the 5 being the only ones, then there was none. Before we do that, I think it was Cleveland.com had a poll. Browns fans, would you pay thousands to secure a seat at a new Brook Park Stadium? Overwhelmingly, it was no.
Wow.
1.5 thousand votes no to 183 yes.
Holy shit.
Right.
Well, I guess we're in the minority.
Right. Well, and we'll get to that too. So I don't know I don't read, when you do stuff with the Browns or any of these things, they got that laundry list of agreements and licenses and you agree to. So I don't know if I'm allowed to exactly rattle off exactly what they did. And I don't want to get sued and lose my ticket, but I will report what some national things said. So I'm just reading what they said. So, and it's pretty much what we had. So I'm not going to go over the individual ones, but per Cleveland 19 News, in the article I read with them, and they did a story on it, the prices of a PSL changes based on location to the field, and survey says pricing could start as low as $500 per seat. They also explain that there's potential for 4 different levels of season tickets. There's the general seating, which is what we do, somewhere between the 30s or end zone, whatever. There's club seats. They're going to have this small group seating of 4 to 8 seats. And of course, you have the annual suites. Now, when I did my survey, John, they got to pick. I picked general and club as potential seats I would possibly be interested in. Do you remember what you put?
Yeah, pretty much the general seating, upper deck, and like maybe the bowl below the upper deck.
Yeah, we can't afford suites unless somebody wants to sponsor and let us go to the games again. We'll do it.
We need a sponsor for the show that has suites involved.
We need to be there with the action live and better seats so we can really focus.
Would really report a lot better on what's happening if we could see it live from a suite.
I believe so. So this survey had a list of potential prices for PSLs. Again, this is according to 19 News article, and potential cost of tickets. Staff at the Browns said these are not official. Again, these aren't official. Not there. I think they're just kind of getting a feeling out.
Sure.
Just what was asked in the survey. So upper corners at the highest level of the stadium could have a $500 one-time PSL plus $1,250 per ticket for the season. There's another one for $550 with a $1,500 season ticket cost, and another one with a $650 PSL with a $1,000 ticket. I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers. Lower level in the end zone, which they now have, there's going to be, it sounds like an end zone. They called it safe standing position. So basically you could stand at the game and watch. They could potentially, they had on there $1,800 for a PSL plus $2,500 for the ticket to stand at the game. Another one had a $2,650 PSL with a season ticket cost of $2,250. What do you make of those?
I'm kind of crazy to pay for a standing room for PSL, and that's a little crazy.
On a lot of them, I put none of these appeal to me, but there are a few I did, and we should say with ours right now, John and I, our seats, right now, we are in section 511. So we're in the upper deck there. We're right about the 20. We are on the visitor side, about the 20-ish yard line, closer to the dog pound. And when we got our PSLs, or when we got our tickets back in 2007, that PSL was, I believe it was $1,125. And I looked up some of our prior pricing. So back in 23, John, you and I, because we each have our own ticket, we paid $1,004 for our season tickets for the games.
Okay.
24, we paid $1,154. So on average, what, about $110, $115 a game?
Yeah.
And then this year it was $1,229. So we're not in the best seat. I know lower levels more expensive. If you sit towards the 50 in the upper deck, those go up some. Like I said, we're in between the 20s there. I know if you're in the corners, they're a lot cheaper, but that's where we're at. So I got a feeling if we stay, we're probably in that same range. Would you say?
Probably. PSL will
Okay.
probably go up, but tickets will probably go up a little bit. But
Now let's blow your mind with some other prices. So in this article, 19 it said mid-level seats. That's between the 30-yard line. So you're in between each 30 to midfield. Potentially, they had some potential prices as $14,350 just for the PSL, and then it would be $5,500 per ticket for the season, for the whole season. $14,350 for PSL, potentially, maybe. Wow.
well, I don't know who's buying these tickets, Steve. I mean, I know there's people out there with more money than I do, but they probably have more sense than I do too. So
right. Another one had it at $16,350 for a PSL, with the tickets costing $3,250. So basically $325 a game, and a one-time PSL at over 16,000. 50. Now there's a couple. I mean, those blew my mind right there. But then listen to these. You're at the 50-yard line, club seats at field level, the home side. Now this would include all-inclusive food and top shelf liquor beverages with it. So you're getting all the food and liquor. You do get priority parking and access to VIP field club. A PSL just for that could $149,300. That was more than my first house.
I'll take two.
And an average a season ticket cost of $22,500 for the season to have a ticket. There's also another one. What's that?
That's corporate. That's got to be corporate. I mean, there's very few people I think that are going to spend that on Browns tickets.
I mean, club seats. I don't know. Man, I'm a big guy to have that. Extra seating and that. See, I'm the type that I had for a brief time. We had Cavs. We did like a 10-game plan and shared it with people where we had these seats. Plus, we had access to a VIP lounge where we had food. You went with me before.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
I think I spent about $110 for each ticket for that game. But when I do something like that, you better be damn sure I'm getting my money's worth. I'm going up for about 4 or 5 plates. And if you go with me, you better be doing the same. If you have one plate and nibble on a few things,
you're never going again.
Nope, you're out. You're out of the circle. So just some
circle of trust,
right? Those just some mind-blowing things. So again, I had another one from the Sports Business Journal. Basically, it echoed the same thing.
Yeah.
And again,
so I put out a thing on TikTok, and it got quite a few responses. I put a video out about this, and it was kind of all over the board. Some people said, I don't think that's that bad. And then I also had a lot of people saying like, that's really expensive for what you're getting.
Oh, I mean, the PSLs, let's be honest, those, in my opinion, are kind of ridiculous. Now, everything's going to go up. We're talking 4 years from now. Things are going to go up. I just read off, we're going up about $100 a year with our tickets. And to the Browns' credit, we're nowhere near the top of what it costs at average ticket. We're still, I think, somewhere in the middle.
Sure.
But that being said,
we've been the worst team for 20 years. Why should we be at the top?
I was going to say, look at the product on the field. It's been crap. So,
well, here's the thing, Stephen. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it sounded like the Browns are going to be addressing this next season, and they want to get people locked in starting like next year.
Well, from what that thing said, I remember that if you're already a season ticket holder, you're in, you're good. You'll get first crack. They do have a list that you can join, that if you want to be considered, or you can join some list. I thought I read somewhere, I talked about it with Lou on his show Friday. I thought it said something about they maybe want to have something and start as early as 2026 with locking stuff in.
Sure. Yeah. Because it said they've got payment plans at 8% to help finance your PSL.
I was just going to tell you about that. So they had a thing about the PSL, and they gave you 3 choices. And again, this is if they do it. They technically haven't even said if they're doing it, which I got to believe they're going to be doing a PSL. Was how would you prefer to pay? You had 3 options. The example was, say it was a $5,000 PSL. You can do an annual interest-free 3-year installment plan of $1,667 per year. That you would probably start paying next year, because it said prior to the stadium opening. So that's why I think next year you will get some answers and you might already start. Or they had an upfront down payment of you had to put 20% down and 5 years at an 8% interest rate. So at 5,000 over that 5 year, you'd be paying $6,009. And the final one was upfront down payment, 20%, 10 years, again, 8% interest rate. You'd end up paying back $6,961. That was just three. Again, this is all hypothetical. They were just throwing stuff out there, but that was that. They asked some questions like feedback. And one of the things I put was as a current, because they said one-time PSL. Well, that's what they said last stadium, one-time PSL. So my question is, as a current season ticket holder who did pay for a PSL, would we get a discount or would we be excluded from that? Or how would that, do we get anything for being loyal season ticket holders, some type of added benefit, discount or something? I'm curious to see if we will. What about you?
I made a comment, Steve, but I'll just keep it right there.
And I really want to get tickets. Our hope was that we could go and at least experience the first season in a dome stadium. We talked about it jokingly before about what it would be like on a cold, snowy day to get in that stadium, take our coats off and be in a 70-degree climate controlled and have my short sleeve t-shirt on and rooting for my Browns. But even more, I want this even more now because exciting news for the Ryder household.
Yeah.
What did you just do this past week?
Just closed on a house in Brook Park, and it's about a quarter mile away from the stadium, the new stadium.
We have parking for free.
We got free parking.
That's your next
No,
sign.
Steve, it's going to cost you $75 to come to my driveway.
Nope,
Jimmy's getting his, I'm getting mine.
Wonder if you could turn that. Wonder how many people try and take advantage of that if they can. But that's awesome. Congrats. You're Lakewood now.
Yep, Lakewood.
You've been bouncing around.
Going to Brook Park, then hopefully moving in January.
Did the Browns have any? I know the situation about the house, but did the Browns moving over there have any influence in that, or not at all?
Not really. It's a thing that's actually could be kind of cool, and I don't know what values of the homes will go for in a couple years once it's built. I'm happy that we close to the stadium. We could walk to the game.
Funny you should say that. If you had a good appraiser friend that does real estate appraising, he can maybe give you some numbers when that time comes. There's a plug for Professional Appraisals Inc., which is my company.
New sponsor.
There's our new sponsor, baby, right there. All right, we're running way behind.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up.
Okay, so real quick, we're going to do our Jaguars watch.
Yep.
What you got?
All right, so we got last week the Jaguars. They were on a bye, so they'll be playing the Raiders this Sunday. Currently, the Tankathon draft order, they have the Cleveland Browns currently picking number 4 and the Browns picking number 18 with that Jacksonville pick. Last week, we had picks 6 and 20, so we gained 2 spots on both ends.
How about that? They didn't even play. So I guess if you're the naysayers about stuff, there's, you gained a couple spots with your pick. So there you go. A little late to the party here, but there's our official logo for the Jaguars watch. That's a sharp watch. Those are pretty cool colors, by the way. All right, my friend. On that note, we'll wrap up that segment, and we're going to go to one of our favorites. It's the land segment. And again, once again, this is something that you did, starting off with the beer, I believe.
Yeah. So Sunday, I stayed home for the game. We've got a lot going on. My daughter's getting married this weekend. We're buying a house and all this stuff. So I didn't do anything, just stayed home. But Steve, the Michelada battle rages.
Uh-oh.
So I went to La Plaza. I told you about La Plaza earlier. It's in Lakewood.
Yep.
Mexican little taqueria with some groceries. And I remember the cups that I talked about? You can get the Michelada cups where you pour the beer in it. Well, I had one in my hand. I was going to check out. And there was a kid. He's wearing a Myles Garrett jersey. He's standing by the beer section looking at these Modelo Micheladas. They have different flavors. They have I don't know. I think one was like a watermelon. One was like lime. And then the regular. They have a couple different flavors. So I asked him, I said, hey, are these any good? And he's like, yeah, they are good. I said, is it better than this cup? And he said, oh, yeah, it's better than the cup.
Wow.
So So I picked up the Modelo Michelada. I think they call it Chilada. And now, Steve, we've got to have a battle off with this Michelada thing going on, because the Modelo Chilada was great. And
Really?
the cup was good too. So now the Modelo makes it easier because they just sell it, but it's in the can, so you don't have to do anything. You don't have to mix it with anything. So
Right.
now I'm on the hunt to find, I guess, the best Michelada, or maybe I'll make my own. I'll get the recipe and make my own. But so yeah, I'm kind of hooked on those right now.
We were gonna do that for the Miami game, but due to the weather and me not wanting to be I was a baby and didn't want to sit in that, we didn't get to do it. So the next home game, I think we're gonna have to get a few of them and
definitely try and do a Michelada taste off.
So how many? Do you know how many there are total, or no?
Well, like for Modelo, it looks like they have like 5 different flavors, maybe, and then on the shelf they have like the cup ones. There were like 2 or 3 different flavors, which was weird. Last week they didn't have as many as they had 3 weeks ago. And then they also have the spices where you can like just make your own Michelada.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and you like to adventure in some of that making stuff, so I wouldn't put it past you to maybe try and make your own there and tinker around with that a little bit.
Yeah. And then Steve, the whole this is a whole travesty of Johnsonville brats. So Sunday, I was running around in the morning doing some stuff. Like I said, went to La Plaza, went to a couple places. I was going to go to K&K Portage Meats down on 150th to get some brats, but I was running out of time. So I went to Discount Drug Mart, and I get
it saved you the runaround,
It did save me the runaround, but in the long run, it was. I wish it didn't, because I bought the Johnsonville brats, and I don't know if you ever had these, Steve.
Mm-mm.
I don't know who buys these things. They're garbage. It's like a hot dog, texture of a hot dog, but it looks like a brat and it tastes like a brat. But it's like there's no snap on the skin like a brat. Okay. I cooked them in beer and onions, and then I put them on the grill. But it's kind of like mushy, soggy. I'm like, who buys this stuff? It's unbelievable. Like, I guess if you live somewhere where they don't have like what we're so fortunate to have in Cleveland with the West Side Market and delis and things like that, where you can get like Rydell's sausage shop.
Over on the east side there.
Over on the east side. Love that place. So I guess if you live in a place where you can't get that and you're stuck with Johnsonville, I'm really sorry for you. And I feel for you. But if you think about ever grabbing these, don't make the extra trip or go to McDonald's. I don't know.
That's a shame. Johnsonville back in the day used to have a pretty good product for their sausages and stuff. So, but yeah, I agree with you. We're totally spoiled. What's that?
Yeah, these are like the little packaged brats. They're not. Yeah. I think because doesn't Johnsonville sell them too, like in the plastic with the styrofoam board underneath it? I think they have those. Dude, those are like the bigger ones. These are more like the hot dog ones that I'm talking about.
I haven't bought packaged brats, and I don't know. Actually, I take it back. The last packaged brats I bought, and to their credit, they're actually not bad. We actually did it. We've had them before for stuff when I've had cookouts and you over. Costco has their brats.
Oh, really? I've never had those.
Yeah, I mean, you get like 14 of them or something, 14 plus. I think it's $10-11. And, for a pinch, again, we're partial to the West Side Market. There's many, but Chukarai is one of my favorites.
Yep.
There's a few other ones down there. There's a lot down there, actually. I've got some. I'm in Lake County here. I've got a few butchers out this way that I would go to as well. So I would always go to them. I think, prices of meats have skyrocketed. Sausages and stuff like that are still somewhat reasonable. Most of them are about $5.99 a pound, give or take. So I'll go there. But Costco, to their credit, I've gotten that in a pinch, and their Italian sausage. I'm like, it's not bad. It's better than some of the store-bought or no-name grocery stores brand version of those. So, Anyway, well, there you go. There is your segment on the land, and so it's the Michelados, big thumbs up, and the Johnsonville brat packages, big thumbs down, from what I gathered.
Yep.
There you go. Well, second to last segment here is There's a Gleam. And John, I'll let you go. Do you have a gleam for this week?
I got two gleams for it. Right now, the gleam is that Sunday we get a bye week, we get to rest, we get to regroup. So that feels good. And we're closing in on the second half of the season. For me, the gleam on that is that we get to go do some tailgating. And we feel like we haven't done much of that this year. It's like been a game here, then like 3 weeks off, a game here, 3 weeks off. I'd like to stack a couple wins on the tailgating side together here and do that. So I'll be happy to get back downtown and see the Browns faithful.
Yep. No, that definitely looking forward to that. We've talked about getting together with some other friends on X and Facebook and stuff. So we've talked about venturing back to the Muni lot, our old stomping ground. So we might do that. We might stay at the place we're at. Who knows? Well, to be determined, but I agree with you. It seemed like a month. We'd play a game in 3 weeks on the road and back home. So there's definitely going to be some more tailgating happening. Real quick, we already touched about the Myles Garrett, set the single where he stands all time. The one thing we kind of, again, talked about briefly was a positive, a gleam for me has been that defense. And here's the little stats here. Best teams at tackling through week 7. The Rams were number 1 at a 4.8% missed tackle rate, and Giants were 2 at 6.4. Falcons 3rd, 7.1% missed rate percentage. The Lions, no surprise there, they're top 4, 7.2. The Chiefs surprised me a little because I don't think their defense is all that great, but 7.3. And our Cleveland Browns are 6th in tackling at a 7.9% missed tackle rate. So that's pretty good. So I thought that's
really good, actually. That's a lot better than what we've seen in some of the previous years.
So look at us. We'll find a gleam for anything.
That's
and then
right.
One other one, again, I saw this. Actually, I saw it last night as I was prepping for the show. Nice little stat here. We've talked about, again, the rookie class. I mean, I think we're going to talk about them the whole year, but I saw this little stat and wasn't aware of it. Hats off to Harold Fannin Jr. I got this from 33rd Team, their X page. Rookie receiving leaders after 8 weeks. Number 1 is Buckeye great Amika. I forget how Gronkowski, he butchered the hell out of his name, but Anguka at 562 yards. Tatario McMillan is 2nd at 512. Tyler Warren was 3rd at 492 yards. 4th was Oronde Gaddison, the 2nd, I believe, at 385. And our Cleveland Brown, Harold Fannin Jr. is 5th out of all rookies with receiving yards at 352. And interesting, right behind him, number 2 pick, Jacksonville Jaguar Travis Hunter at 298 yards. So hats off to Harold Fannin. He's having a hell of a rookie season so far.
Yeah, he is.
5th in receivers and ahead of Travis. Who saw that on their list of rookie receivers outdoing Travis Hunter? So that's mine. Nice to see. And that's all I got for that.
Good. Yeah. Fannin's having a great year. I really like him. He's been a great addition to the Browns.
Yeah. That's a pick I really liked. I mean, I'm surprised more NFL wasn't, because I remember hearing, a month or two before the draft, couple months, actually in as early as January and February about Fannin, because he, local kid played at Bowling Green there. So that was pretty awesome. But anyway, finishing out the show here. No game predictions this week. We're on a bye, so a much needed bye week. So, but I am going to predict one thing, John.
What's that?
I'm going to have a great Sunday for not having to watch any Browns games this week.
So am I.
My only sad news at our household, last Saturday we pulled the boat out for the season. So I wish it was still warmer. We live somewhere warm year round where maybe I could go enjoy the boat for the weekend, but that's out. But nope, that's me. What are you doing? Anything fun this weekend? You say your daughter's getting married?
Sunday I'll be recovering from my daughter's wedding on Saturday, and I'll be returning my tux. That's about it.
There you go. Well, look forward to that. Have fun, be safe. Like I said, enjoy your week off. Oh, don't forget this Saturday is probably my wife's second favorite holiday. We call it a holiday in our household. second favorite holiday of the season, just after Christmas. It's turn back the clock and she gets an extra hour of sleep.
I hate that holiday.
My
I
wife,
hate when it gets dark at 5 o'clock in the evening. It's terrible.
I hate that. That woman absolutely loves it. Most women I know love their sleep. So she's excited.
I love my sleep.
She's excited about getting that extra hour. So don't forget, turn back the clock Saturday night, Sunday morning, however you want to do it. So you got that. And I will be doing, actually on Sunday, instead of watching the game, our boat club, they offer a CPR/AED training class provided by the Red Cross. And it's a certified 2-year certificate. It's adult and pediatric CPR and AED training. I didn't know what that was. It's automated external defibrillator. So I'm going to get certified and trained on CPR and AED training. So when we're at these Browns games and something happens to you, Johnny, I'm there to save you.
That's right. When we win the Super Bowl and I have a heart attack, you can come by and save me, and then we can celebrate downtown.
I might be there with you with that heart attack. So anyway, again, we want to thank you for joining the show. Again, you got some bonus minutes here. Please remember to like, follow, share, subscribe, spread the word. Again, anybody sponsors, we're always looking for sponsors. Want to thank you for tuning into our show. And we're going to see you hopefully live next week. Again, same time, same bat channel, Wednesdays at noon. Enjoy the week. And I still say go Browns.
Go Browns.
All right, Johnny. Have a good week, my friend. Have a good
You
time
too.
at the wedding. And we will see you guys.